Would you really die because of a haunted doll? That is exactly what happened to Dan Rivera.
On a cold night in 2025, the theater was packed with people. All eyes were fixed on a small wooden box containing the most infamous doll in the world of horror, Annabelle. The atmosphere was tense, the lighting dim, whispers filling the air. Everyone was waiting to hear from investigator Dan Rivera, the man who had spent years chasing the supernatural and exposing its secrets. But that night was unlike any other. As Rivera approached the box, the audience began to sense a shift. Breaths grew heavy, the air colder than before, and the lights flickered as though something unseen had passed between them. With his usual smile, Dan addressed the crowd. Annabelle is nothing more than a myth. But his voice suddenly broke off. One person in the audience swore they saw the doll's hand twitch, while another claimed to hear a faint, childlike whisper coming from the box. Some felt sharp tingles on their bodies, as if invisible fingers brushed against their backs. And then, Dan placed a hand over his chest, staggered a step, and collapsed motionless to the ground. Screams filled the hall. Some rushed toward the doors, while others froze in disbelief. The doll remained in place, staring with glassy eyes as though smiling, while Rivera's body was carried out. The official report cited a heart attack, but those who lived through that night swore what happened was anything but natural. From that day, rumors multiplied. Some said the doll had truly moved, while others spoke of cries and moans captured on the hall, surveillance cameras, sounds that hadn't been there before. Even now, those who were present recall an unshakable feeling that a shadow has been following them ever since. Was Dan Rivera's death merely natural? Or had the doll, long warned about, finally revealed its true face? We may never know, but one thing became certain. Annabelle was no longer just a doll. She had become a curse, and that night may have only been the beginning. Days after Rivera's death, terrifying events unfolded one after another. The hall where he fell was officially closed, yet the guards assigned to watch over it swore they never passed a single night without hearing the patter of children's footsteps and muffled giggles near the box that held the doll. One guard resigned after seeing with his own eyes the security camera's recording movement inside the box, despite it being tightly sealed. Stranger still, some who had attended the show began reporting recurring nightmares. In them appeared Dan Rivera's face, pale, his eyes sunken into darkness, whispering incomprehensible words, while Annabelle sat silently behind him on an old wooden chair. One woman claimed she woke in the night to find tiny scratch marks on her arm, as though a child's fingers had trailed across her skin as she slept. But the story did not end there. Just a week after the incident, the hall's lights collapsed completely at midnight, and the cameras captured shadows darting swiftly among the empty seats. When the footage was reviewed, a brief frame revealed something resembling a small child passing before the lens, but its features were anything but human. Investigators tried to explain it away as technical glitches or mass hysteria. Yet everyone who came close to Annabelle after Rivera's death was never the same. Some fell ill with mysterious conditions. Others withdrew from society, convinced they were being watched relentlessly. Now, the question is no longer, did Dan Rivera die of a heart attack? But rather, did Annabelle open a door to something far worse, something unseen, now slipping into our world step by step? After everything, many believed the nightmare ended when the hall was shut down and Annabelle was locked once again inside her glass case. But the reports never ceased. A worker tasked with transporting the box claimed he heard repeated thuds from inside during the drive. When he tried to ignore it, the vehicle suddenly jolted as if about to overturn, without cause. Even more terrifying, surveillance cameras in the storage facility caught a brief recording at exactly 3 a.m. The lights flickered, and for a split second, the shadow of a woman appeared standing behind the doll, then vanished. No one else was in the room at that time. Some of those who had been there the night of Rivera's death have since disappeared from public view. Their families reported strange behavior, sleeping with their eyes open, speaking in unknown languages, or staring silently into mirrors for hours without moving. Today, no one knows whether Annabelle is truly to blame, or if Rivera's death unleashed something greater, darker, perhaps not found within the doll itself, but imprisoned in the shadows around it, waiting for the right moment to emerge. And the question that leaves everyone trembling is this: if Annabelle was only the beginning, then what comes next?